Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Tainted Grail, and I'm feeling much better than in the previous episode. Now, the time is quite early in the morning. I didn't really have a plan for this episode, unlike the last one. So I'm going to come and see Osbert and do something
Always a pleasure to see
rash,
you.
but also studied. I want to purchase all of the copper ore that he has available. There we go. I would also like to buy some of his iron. That'll do. And all the leather. Now, you may recall in the last episode, I was under the impression there was a way to get a secret reward out of the previous quest I was involved in. And apparently, while this may not still be available, the trick is to make a second mask while you still can. Obviously, since I've progressed the quest, the mask recipe is no longer available, and give that mask to the gardener on the secret roof, and then he would give you a permanent perception increase of +2. There's also a rumour that he doesn't do that anymore, and now he wants a different item, and if you give it to him it kills him, so I'm not going to do that, obviously. Since I missed the opportunity that I barely knew about anyway, that's fine. However, with all this copper, I'm now going to make some maces. Is this wise? Possibly. What can I make first to improve my skill? I can repair some broken arrows. Flayed Drowner's gloves. Do I have these? I do need to make the Drowner's gear. Don't have the skill to do it yet. I could make some hatchets, I suppose. 47% chance of worse. It's the same odds as the maces, and that doesn't involve using up all my wood. I'll make 6 maces. And it doesn't matter what the quality is. You know what? I'll push a little more. Oh, broke one. There we go. Crafting skill 19. Ugh. The dice do not favour me today. Oh! That's not a mace. There we go. But having improved our skill has got to help us in the long run.
Oh,
And now I'm going to lighten my load. I'm still not aware what sort of recipe we would need to use broken items in. But I'll clear out some of these. And I'll keep that on standby. But wait, there's apparently more I could let go of. This mace is going to outweigh any of these, so I'll just let those all go now. I think we have a better one, don't we? We don't need 3 chopping axes. That's outright better. There we go. I will sell this because we got a magic one, didn't we? And I should put that in the stash. While I'm at it, I think I will go and visit the quartermaster. I've tested the perception check in the quartermaster conversation. Success does lead to a slightly different outcome. And it's interesting, so I might hold off till I've got another point in there. Could be a little bit of a while, though. So I think, since 3 or 4 of my quests will lead me outside the keep, and there's one I can do inside, I should focus on that for now. Excuse me. Goban mentioned the tunnels and the former captain.
Captain Hagen. Well, he was a man driven by pride and a certain
disregard for caution. He sent men to explore those old tunnels beneath the keep. Somehow, he got it into his head that there was something valuable down in those tunnels. Treasures, relics, who knows what else. But the truth is, we know what was there. In the Age of Legends, it was just a hospital. There was some kind of outbreak or plague, and the place was sealed off. Nothing left to find, or so the records say.
Isn't it right to bury the keepers who went down there?
Yes. It weighs on me more than I'd care to admit. If I could, I'd see them laid to rest. But no captains ever bothered. It seems they thought it was a fool's errand. Maybe not worth the risk.
But I could go down there.
If you're mad enough to try, then by all means go ahead. Just don't expect any keeper to follow you. I really don't have men to spare. But maybe it's time to make it right. So, thank you, I suppose.
Right, I'll see what I can do. Now, we are at the point where this quest is likely to cause us to level 1 or 2 times. Oh, that's not the magic one we found, which is apparently equipped in the wood chopping slot, bizarrely of all things. Alright, hang on. 31 to 34, 26 to 30, but when equipped, it's 31 to 36 because it's a magic weapon with the damage boost on it. So I can afford to part with this axe. Okay. And I can put the bone club in the stash. I can also sell that burning ember spell. First off, I should not walk around the keep threatening everyone with a two-handed weapon. That would be disastrous. Should probably also just stash this as well for a bit. It's going to be a while before I can use it, even though it's a beautiful piece of equipment. It's aspirational. It's not that heavy relatively to everything else. If I pop that in as well, sell this one. Okay. You know, if it's blue and I can't utilize it yet, maybe I'll carry it around. Otherwise, yeah, I want to put those on. I really want to put those on. It's the same armor value, but with potential to increase. However, it will be a long time. Yeah, but it protects the arms a bit more and looks so much better protectively. So I'll wear these for now. We're not getting full value out of them, but we're getting the same value that we used to for our broken gauntlets. Let's go see Orla and trade with her. Then we'll go look into this hospital situation. Yeah, I was originally going to hospital. Speaking of which, actually, complete tangent. Something I was thinking about before this episode. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to share this one. But I've had an idea for a joke. Right? May not be the best joke in the world, or the worst, right? And I literally haven't shared this with anyone else yet. So in a way, I thought it through, you know, in my head. Not even sure I sort of murmured it under my breath. So, in a way, those of you watching this video will be the first people I expose to this jape. And it's not necessarily a very good one, but still, we'll give it a try. Hey, never mind. If I've got branded skin, I'll turn it in later when I've got more. So, I don't like this, right? This looks like something that should be patched. It's obvious we're not supposed to look that close at it, or we're supposed to be like out here so that we don't see the air through it. But if it it should probably still be fixed. Maybe on a higher graphic setting it's less noticeable. Anyway, back to my joke. So, part of the thing I was going over earlier was thinking, what kind of comedian should tell this joke, right? It feels like a sort of Groucho Marx or maybe Lee Mack. Possibly even Sean Locke. Not so sure though. So anyway, comedian is on the stage in front of the audience, you know. Maybe there's a microphone, he steps up to the microphone stand and starts with, you know, hello everybody, and then goes straight into, now before I get started, I should warn you all that nothing I'm about to say in this set will be original. Everything that comes out of my mouth will be things that people have said before. If you don't believe me, look it all up. You'll find it in my dictionary. I think that's quite a funny one. It's got distinct potential, you know. It almost sounds like something Jimmy Carr might try, but I'm not quite sure he'd go with something so mundane. It's not, doesn't have enough shock value to be something of his. So here we are. There must be some kind of way out of here, said the joker to the thief. Amongst all of this confusion, I can't find no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine, plowmen dig my earth. None of them along the line know what any of it is worth. Yeah, I like both versions of this song. So we got this poor unfortunate individual here, back of his head bashed in. Looks like most of his brain matter isn't missing, so that's good. We're not looking at necessarily carnivorous creatures in here. Now, when I last explored this area in early access, somebody commented on my video and asked, why is your video so dark, man? And I had to explain that I've got kind of good eyesight and this doesn't look that dark to me. Now, the only way this really looks dark is if I move over here, then the doorway looks pretty dark. I can still kind of see the door frame itself. When I get to here though, there it's very difficult for me to see anything. That is proper darkness, right? This is bright in comparison, right? I have no problems with this. So I'm aware that YouTube darkens videos a bit after they are uploaded as part of the processing yeah, well, it's part of the post-upload processing process. Yeah. But if I put the light up much brighter, it will be painfully bright for me. I know I'm a bit of a night owl, like, oh, hello. I'll take those. Oh, yeah. A bit of a night owl. I didn't generally particularly feel that my eyesight is remarkably good in darkness, but people will walk into a room on a normal, slightly overcast day and say, oh my god, it's black in here, I can't see anything. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with you, you moron? You know? And then they'll turn the light on, which will make sod all difference, and they'll go, oh, that's better. I don't understand these people. Really, I don't. It's like when they say fry the onion until it's a rich golden brown. It never becomes golden brown. That's a lie. It becomes slightly see-through, and that's apparently golden brown, even though it's not. You know, it just stays relatively the same colour until you burn it and it goes black. It's very disappointing and frustrating. Anyway, we are going to work our way through this area, and also a lot of people have commented on having difficulty trying to find the tags of the 5 keepers. Well, let's go find them all. You, axe attack. And you as well. Oi! Right, that's those two down. Where'd he go? Over there. Oh wow, that's quite a convoluted position. Now, there are a number of undead in this area. Among them, 5 undead keepers, one of whom is right over there. He is standing next to a hole in the floor. I can shoot him in the head and probably get a one-hit kill here. But to do so will probably involve him falling into the pit. If he falls into the pit, which he has miraculously not done, he would land on the floor below. On this side of the pit, on the floor, is the second of the undead keepers. So I could jump down, loot the body, turn around and bash the other one in the head. Speaking of which, someone's come up to play. The undead keepers are far more mobile than the other undead in this place. Oh shit! So, most of the undead are fairly content to stay where they are, unless they become aware of my presence. The undead keepers are far more willing to roam about and begin hunting me once they become aware of indications that I am in the building, as it were. And yeah, that zombie surprised me, because I, expected the keeper, didn't expect a zombie to come up as well. So the question is, who is that one who came up? I'm going to presume... No, he seems to... Hang on. Just step across there. Okay, yeah, that one's still down there. I know the 5th one is... So, we have multiple floors here. We have like 1, 2, 3... I think 3 or 4 floors. One of them likes to stand by the bottom of the steps at that end, on the lowest level. Let's get back to clearing out this space and trying not to chip my teeth together so hard when I get surprised. I am likely to become overburdened here. I could probably do this in 1 or 2 goes, depending... Right, you... Now, something interesting I've noticed is that when the undead in this area rise to meet me, they seem to perform a drawing a two-handed weapon from their back animation. Got him. So leveled, not a... Where? I suspect down on the floor below, but fight music is still playing. There we go, it's eased off. Now, I could get out of here and take that level now, or I could press on. Now, obviously the argument for taking the level is that it will aid me in the mission to come. The argument against it is that if I leave and return, the undead keepers may have started roaming and patrolling these halls, and it'll be harder for me to account for all of them. We have stairs here that descend to every level, and stairs in that corner that descend to every level. In terms of traversing the levels safely and thoroughly, the stairs at that end are generally the safest of the lot. Some of the undead like to stand by the walls or in alcoves and lurch out at us. It's going to be fiddly. So far, I'm accounting for everyone. I'm not seeing a missing place where the extra keeper who came at me came from. So we're now down on the 2nd level. Does he stand there? No, I think that's a 3rd level down. Did he come from all the way down there? There's one who likes to stand there. because all those things. So that's where he came from. I think he's that one. He's the third keeper. Got it. Okay, I see you. You beauty! There's one of the lurkers. Wait, let's go axe attacks. Take that, you scoundrel! Now, how are we doing for encumbrance? Close. I may need to go lighten my load. Yeah, I see you. Okay. Oh, yes! So that would then be what? 4 of them accounted for? 4, yes. Aha. And there's the 5th. Okay, well, the other inhabitants, denizens, a bit fucking hell of this area, are somewhat more reliable. Don't know where this one came from, but I say that because there is one on the right-hand side in this long gallery somewhere, but there's another one who likes to lurk by the door at the far end. And I don't recall seeing him when I looked across earlier. Okay, got a sack with a cabbage in it. Chest we can unlock. You can see the new lock picking, we don't have the bright light on the lock. That's because apparently it used a different camera for lock picking previously, and now it just uses the main shortbow +2, which may or may not be an improvement. It's a downgrade even if we increase our dexterity, which we do need to do for the cloak. Let's get our shield ready, as we've been taking quite a few bashes in here. And it may be wise to preserve our healing resources. I'm rather inclined to just stay down here and finish the whole mission. Oh, but then again, we are so close to our encumbrance limit. Yeah, let's get out of here. We'll be able to level up anyway. We know where we are on the second level. We've cleared out a lot, actually. But the thing is, we have cleared out so very much. Sod it. I want to do it all in one go. I really do. Now, usually, descending these stairs here will involve fighting 2 or 3 of them, but they seem to have come up to play on this level. So, honestly, there's not very many enemies left in here. But there are absolutely enemies left in here. How am I doing now? I think I'm okay as long as I don't pick anything up on the bottom level until it's time to leave. So another long gallery of broken chambers with walls that have collapsed. Yep, I think there would have been one around here, or a little further on by now. No, is it to the right again? It seems to be the right again. Okay. That does come across as a little darker, but I'm relatively fine with this. And then just out here is where one would have been in hiding, presumably behind this pillar then, because I couldn't see him from up there when I looked down at all. No, it's a fallen keeper who usually stands here, and from that side you can kind of shoot between these sheets to get him in the head. Now, down there is a nasty piece of weird slime, usually with a zombie in attendance. There are 4 patches of weird slime in the dungeon. 3 of them are on the level below me. 1 is up on this level. And I shall be dealing with it very soon. There we go. And now I've cleared most, if not all, hello, of this level. Wait for it, see him reach for his weapon there behind his shoulders. It's bizarre. Now, slime. Dear slime, thank you. And we will open this chest. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Close. Very close now. Nope. Tweak it, and there we go. We have an origin potion as consolation from many lost lockpicks. Now, this is going well. We'll deal with that slime. So yeah, there would have been one here. Now, down here, zombie by the stairs would have been a fallen keeper. We'd taken care of him. There's another slime over there, and one in a cell over there. I'll deal with all this stuff on my way out. Ah, hello, there we go. Excellent job, me. And finally, more archery practice. Hooray! I don't think there's anything in here. And now things are going to get interesting. I'm going to try this razor splash concoction, right? Just because I can. there's a thing, and it has absolutely detected us. Right. I don't know if that was a weak spot, but I really hope it was. Oh yeah, you rear up like that. Oh yeah. Ah! The foul Croakmaw has been defeated. Excellent stuff. And I did quite well there. Now, up there is a chest which we absolutely want to search before leaving this place. That's another ring of protection. We already have one and are currently wearing it. However, this chest here is the real prize. It's a hard lock, so I want to presumably just... Go on. Be the left just for once. Okay, looks like it's all the way over here then. Spinebreaker +1 and Ancient Knight's Breastplate. Both blue items. Spinebreaker +1 implies that there are normal spinebreakers that are not +1 out there somewhere. It does a horrific amount of damage, which is not showing the bonus for our two-handed axe at the moment because we're not using it. Ignores enemy blocks. It requires 4 strength and 4 endurance, both of which we have. That is excellent. And the Ancient Knight's Breastplate, while currently offering less armor than the Rusty Knight's Breastplate, will offer more over time. I'm going to swap the axe for the big hammer because it's still hogging the wood chopping slot, and the only way to change that, I think, is to put it in storage. So after chopping wood, we will see our stamina, our mana returning to normal. Excellent. Let's head out of here. Although I can say that if I had stocked up, you know what, let's just put some more potions in here while we can. There we go. If I had gone outside and leveled up and traded mid-mission, then I would be not over-encumbered at this point. I don't like the red glowing effect on the hammer. That doesn't seem to fully encompass the hammer. It looks very artificial. And I suppose ignoring blocks is a very powerful ability, so it is a powerful item. Just to... Okay, so I'm going to take this end. Oh wait, this is dumb. I was going to take this end and work my way towards the stairs. Right, how about you? Got it. That shouldn't be allowed. It also shouldn't be necessary or required. And if jumping to open a container is a secret thing that we're not supposed to know about, then that should be a really amazing thing in the secret thing. Right, that's just a body. I'm not going to go up those stairs because if I do, I'll need to be looping through side chambers to get back to this end on virtually every floor. So I might as well just do it now. Walk over to this end. You know what? While I'm here, I do have a torch. There you go. That's how I make the video brighter for you all while I'm in a place like this. It's just that I value my shield arm far too much at the moment. And there were a lot of foes. So obviously we want dexterity and practicality for the cloak. Actually, yeah, how are we doing for level? We go out, we get some experience for speaking to the quartermaster and the drunk. We might not quite level. There may be enough wood to repair the village. In which case, that might push us... Oh, we got enough wood already. Excellent. Yeah, we are definitely leveling twice then. Wonderful. So, I think I need 3 more ability score points to qualify for the cloak. And maybe I don't push the cloak just yet. Perhaps I have other things I want to qualify for too. So maybe I should be thinking of the overall build, and the cloak would be less of a primary thing and more of a secondary thing to enjoy qualifying for at a later point. Although obviously the earlier I qualify for it, the better, because I'll get greater benefit from my healing items. That being said, currently my health is at such a level that when I consume healing items, almost any of them will restore me to full health. So really, I don't need to be getting more out of my healing items yet. I need more health, so that getting more out of my healing items will be more impactful and a more valuable thing. No, I was going to get my shield ready. I'll keep the torch out all the way to the door because the doorway at the front is quite dark. There we go. I'd say that was quite successful. The Croakmaw can be a very difficult foe, especially if I am over-encumbered with all the loot from this dungeon, in which case I'm not able to dodge it, and it has knockdown attacks, attacks that can inflict significant damage and like beat a lot of stamina out of me. So I should be very pleased with how that went. Very pleased indeed, and it would look like night has fallen. Or is on the brink of doing so. In which case, I might as well rest and sleep properly before reporting into the quartermaster. Yeah, I like that idea. That's a nice idea. I can use this bonfire, then go sleep in a nice bed in the barracks. So, what do I want? Dexterity, I could get another level of Parry King, which I'm really going to need a lot of, or Strong Armor for Bowmaster. Perception, I could grab Critical Cascade, which seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Practicality, reusable resources is quite nice, but I really want to get into the armor tree as well, and it will boost my crafting. If I go for dexterity, yeah, sod it, there we go. And I did go practicality that level, so there we are. Let's have the extra bonus. I'm not sure if I managed to smack it in the mouth. It looked like the little creature inside the mouth with the long tongue, maybe a weak spot. But there we are. We still need at least 2 more levels to qualify for the cloak. And we'll be getting one of those fairly soon. For now, to bed. To bed, perchance to dream. And level up sometime in the next morning. Maybe a little afternoon. But we'll see. So I'm thinking dexterity, practicality, or endurance next level. If we go with the endurance, we can justify the beginning of some equipment changes. Oh, and the game is forcing me to run again after resting, even though I'm still over encumbered. That's not on. I don't like that at all. And after we're walking through a door. They still haven't patched that though, have they? Impatient running people that they are. There's no need to tire ourselves out running. It's very unrealistic. Tortoise and the hare. Speaking of the tortoise, we want armour. Osbrit, I would like to trade with you some of this knackered old kit. Okay, that can go. This can go. We don't need a second spade. We don't need any of those items. All these. Now, I'd like to get hold of a copy of the Swan Knight. I know a place nearby where we can purchase one for free. It would be nice to start crafting some of these items. However, it would also be nice to improve our crafting skill to make crafting these items easier. So for now I'm just going to buy all the leather. There we go. I may need some wool. Now let's go report to the quartermaster. And then we'll pick up some extra wood on the way down to the village while we're at it. I'll sell the non-military gear to Orla. You know, the peasant's clothes, essentially. But for now, we're turning in one quest, maybe even two. And enjoying the fruits of our labours. We should probably also make some new healing potions and... Hey, did I... Oh, damn it, they don't have the... There used to be a tab here where you could view your crafting recipes. It looked very console-y, and the recipes wouldn't list the amount of an ingredient. So it'd just be like, you need leather and iron and wood to make this. And you'd be like, okay, how much of each? And it wouldn't tell you. Right. Your tunnels are safe now.
You actually did it? Cleared out those tunnels on your own? Every captain before me thought it was a fool's errand, not worth the risk. And how are those tunnels? Salvageable?
They're in pretty rough shape, but at least the monsters are gone.
Aye, that it does. Camelot won't be eager to finance the repairs.
What?
But knowing the threat's being dealt with is a victory in itself. Perhaps someday we'll see them restored. Until then, we can at least rest easier. So the keep owes you for this. Here's your reward. And what about Goban's friends? Did you find any trace of them?
I did. I found their tags.
Give those to Goban, if you haven't yet. He's restless, but maybe seeing those again will help settle him. Might even help him get his act together.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. And you've given me a new item called Trial of Death, which is a two-handed axe that requires 5 strength and 3 endurance. We don't have 5 strength yet. So it appears to have slightly lower 32 to 35 base, 26 to 30 base, slightly lower base damage than the two-handed hammer, but also uses less stamina to swing. Killing enemies provides a stackable 20% damage increase for 10 seconds. That sounds quite funky, to be honest. It is, however, another item we don't quite qualify for yet, so I'm going to put that one away. go, if we're only using this for chopping wood, I can put that away as well, and then we can just use our regular wood cutting axe for that. So it's looking like we want the free dexterity pretty soon, so we can narrow our bow selection. I mean, we could do that anyway, right? We could look at it and go, let's get rid of that one, maybe even that third one. Keep the one we're currently using, and the one we aspire to use in the future at some point. However, that bow requires spirituality. An ability score we definitely want to improve at some point. At this point, it may look as if my build is all kinds of wonky, points spread all over the place, but there's a distinct bit of a focus. You know, there's a little more strength and endurance and practicality than anything else. And I intend to continue increasing those three as main ability scores. It's quite possible endurance and practicality might outweigh strength by the end of it. That's the way I'm currently leaning anyway. Heavy on the endurance and practicality, strength as a secondary. However, a lot of the items I would like to use have had their requirements changed to require far more strength than endurance, which is a little bit weird, so I may have to invest a little more in strength than I want, and possibly even push it a little bit early if I want to benefit early on. I'll see how I feel about that. For now though, I'm wanting to replace this knackered old broken excuse for armor with something more functional. It may take us a while. Goban, let's speak. I've been down in those tunnels you mentioned, and I brought back the tags of your companions.
You went down there and came back with their tags? Damn, didn't think anyone would ever bring those back up. Lads must be resting a bit easier now, or so I'd like to think. They deserve better than to be left in that pit. You did right by them, stranger. Hell, you did right by me too. So, let's drink to that.
You told me you were drinking because you felt guilty.
Did I? No, I don't remember. And if I don't remember, it doesn't count. But, maybe I did say that. I started cozying up to a bottle the day I came back alone from those damn tunnels. I guess it's time I made good on my word. For them. For me. This old fool is done with the booze. I think I owe you. More than I got words for. The guts to go down there, and you brought back what I couldn't. That's something I won't forget, stranger.
Well, we got our level. Do we want to talk to Finley while we're here, or did I do that last time already? I believe I did last time. I'm just checking. Finley marked a place on my map. It's outside the keep, as are most of the other places we want to visit at this point in time. Okay. Drowner's armor, gonna be a while. Unless it uses leather. I might be able to overpower it with leather, I'm not sure. Well, while we are here, let's repair this. I don't like this repaired version very much, to be honest. I think I would prefer it if it could actually look like the older version did before it tumbled down. But there we are, a fearsome reminder of some kind of horrific sea monster. Looks a bit like a seahorse. But if I take the dexterity upgrade now, it's out of the way and I don't need to worry about it again. if I take the practicality, that boosts my crafting skills even more. You know, that was a big crafting quest. But we took practicality already.
Ah, that's you. Do you need something?
Aye, that I do. The gate and the monument have been repaired.
I know. The gate's standing proud again. And that monument, well, it actually looks like something worth remembering now. Folks around here might not say much, but they'll notice. A place that looks cared for makes people care more in return. Good work. If I had a medal to give, I'd pin it on you myself. Maybe Fergus will even crack a smile. Or at least grunt in approval. That's about as good as praise gets from him. Either way, you've done well. If something else comes up, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of sensing that about Fergus. He's not one to show his approval outwardly very much. And for now, I suppose, all of the experience and the level increase are all the approval I need right about now. Allegedly. In theory. A little bit. Not really. We'll see. And now I get to be really indecisive about as to where I'm putting that level point, I suppose. I mean, not that indecisive necessarily. Right, let's think about this. If I put it into endurance, that'll give me more health. More health means I'll get more mileage out of my healing items, greater value. Also means I will survive enemy attacks better. And I will be able to carry a heavier load, wear heavier armor, and so on, right? More practicality means I'll be able to craft that heavier armor, which I would certainly have difficulty creating at the moment. More dexterity means I might be able to parry a little more, could shoot bows better, and could presumably get rid of this bow. Yeah, probably just that one, to be honest. And I could do that right now. This bow needs perception. A lot of conversation options are gambles requiring certain amounts of perception. It seems like perception is a thief stat, so strength and dexterity is like for a warrior sort of build. Dexterity and perception is more of a thief build, right? That's the impression I'm getting anyway. And of course this one requires strength, dexterity and spirituality, none of which I qualify for at all. But if I put a point into dexterity, I would be a lot closer to qualifying for this, and actually I may even be able to upgrade to this with that dexterity increase. Ooh. Okay, I'm not going to look too closely at those, because we can do it here. So dexterity would increase range damage, attack speed, and noise. How loud we are when we're sneaking. Practicality would increase price of sold goods. Tiny little bonus to crafting. And weak spot damage. Endurance would give us health. Encumbrance. More stamina regeneration. We have... Our stamina regeneration is so high. Let's hold off on that, right? So thematically, which of these do I like? So endurance. I like deflecting block. I like disrupting shove in that it leads to confidence. I like determination and gaining momentum. And with 90 health, increased vitality would be what, about 4.5 points, so it's not much. I think we'd have to get over 100 for this to really start making a difference, but it would lead to the second increased vitality. I'm not so fussed about carnage or cruelty, but they may help at some point. Liking Parry King, strong arm, but what I'm really liking, I think, is armoured skin because it leads to the best offence, and inner strength. While we only have 4 points of endurance for now, we're definitely planning on getting more later, but it also leads to Hedgehog Knight, which is a far more powerful version of the Thorn Helm, and would allow us to replace that with a other item. That'd be at least probably 3 levels because of wanting to qualify for the cloak. Oh! Might also want to dip into endurance training at some point, just to be able to wear heavier armors. But I'd want to craft those. Let's get a bit of extra armor, because switching to heavier armors would have a lower armor value than our current. Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. Oh. This needs a 5th strength point. Okay, I'm going to go endurance. That's part of a plan. That was not the plan. So endurance 5. And I will take determination. Then I will go and see Osbrit. How are we doing for crafting materials? We need more bones. Okay. That's enough of an excuse for me. We need more bones. Great. Let's go make a couple of hatchets and sell those. And then it's probably long enough to end the episode.
Just another peaceful moment.
Too true, friend. Too true. Treasure them while you can. Oh yeah, putting in the good work. Oh, now. 5, 8, 3. So if I put these in, and then some of these, because I can get more. If I pump them all in. Okay. Not liking that chance for worse yet. That's looking a bit unencouraging. Yeah. Oh, 52. Let's give it a go. Yeah! Excellent stuff. Chuck another bows in. Alright. You know, we're doing okay. Oh, sod it. We should just make all the leather. Alright, 54 leather, that's a lot. Okay. Well, I think then in the next episode we'll be going to the crypt of the necromancer. Although not necessarily to do the quest. Because in that crypt there is a free copy of The Adventures of the Swan Knight, which would teach us the armor crafting recipes we so desperately desire. Now, it's 500 coins, right? I can buy it right now. But if I go to the graveyard, I could pick up some bones, which I will need to craft some of the items. Oh, also, with that 5th point of stamina now, we fully qualify for this. This is now needs 3 more points. 6 is higher than the 5.6 the Rusty Knight's breastplate was giving us previously. So while wearing this is technically a downgrade, it's aspirational and a reminder to put more points into endurance, which I'm certainly going to do. It would technically knock off another 6 encumbrance because I'd be ditching the old one. And our armor value has increased to 23.4, so this would then go to 22.4. As opposed to the... so we were missing 1.6, so it would have been like 21.9 or something, like basically around 22. Ooh. Okay, let's go trade with Orla while I think about it. And of course now part of me is thinking, if we're going to the graveyard, we could go beat up some brigands and take their branded skin and bring it back for rewards. So yeah, money is not a big problem for us at this point in the game, right? We have plenty of it, and if we need any of it, we can generally acquire it fairly easily. It would also rule this out, make these 2 pairs of leather gauntlets slightly better for us. Slightly, you know. Oh. That's endurance as well. So we're increasing the... What am I missing? I know what I'm missing. Right. There is a Druidic shrine over here. I should pop over there and get the item from that. Because there's this one. This one. Oh, wait. Hang on then. Have I not utilized one of these yet? Sod it. I've got time. It's only... yeah, mid-afternoon. I'm pretty sure it's the one... Huh. No. No. I have. Because it's these arm wraps and the boots I have. So I have utilized both of those shrines. Okay. That's a relief. With festering arm guards. Almost a benefit to use at this point. I really should end the episode. Oh god, do I want to go to the graveyard by night? I could try. And it would be fun to have it go dark while I'm... catch myself off guard a bit next episode, unless I just record that now. So I will end this one here. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'll say goodbye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone. See you all soon.